In this session, I will focus on the classification of costs on the basis of controllability, normality, and managerial purposes. Let me start with the classification of cost on the basis of controllability. On the basis of controllability, costs are classified as controllable costs and non-controllable costs. What are controllable costs? Let me quote the definition given by ICMA, which defines controllable cost as a cost which can be influenced by the action of a specified member of an undertaking. The executive or the manager has direct and absolute decision authority over controllable cost. He can control or reduce such a cost at his level of functioning. What are non-controllable costs? Non-controllable costs are also defined as a cost which cannot be influenced by the action of a specified member of an undertaking. Generally, majority of the fixed costs are considered as non-controllable costs. The term non-controllable cost does not mean that the cost cannot be controlled at all. It indicates that the cost incurred in or assigned to a responsibility center cannot be significantly influenced by the actions of the manager of that responsibility center. Let me explain to you the meaning of classification of cost on the basis of normality. On the basis of normality, costs are classified as normal costs and abnormal costs. Normal cost means costs which is normally incurred at a given level of output under normal conditions of operations. Under given conditions, these costs occur normally. Abnormal costs are those costs which are not normally incurred at a given level of output. They arise because of abnormal conditions. Abnormal costs are not charged to the cost of production but transferred to profit and loss account. On the basis of managerial purposes, costs are classified into 6 types. What is opportunity cost? Opportunity cost means the value of the alternatives foregone by adopting a particular strategy or employing resources in specific manner. It is the cost of opportunity lost. It is the return expected from an investment other than the present one. In other words, it is the benefit lost by rejecting an alternative course of action. The benefit lost is the net earnings or profits that might have been earned from the rejected alternative. This net earning or profit should be considered as a cost of the chosen action. The opportunity cost is considered for selection of a project or justification of an investment option. Now, what are relevant and irrelevant costs? Relevant and irrelevant costs are costs relevant for a specific purpose or situation. In decision making relating to a specific issue, only those costs which are relevant are considered. Each alternative has its own cost structure. Costs are called relevant costs. On the other hand, there are certain common elements of costs in each alternative. They remain the same and not affected by the decision, whatever alternative is chosen. Such costs are called irrelevant costs. What do you mean by differential cost? Differential cost is the change in cost due to change in activity from one level to another. When the level of activity is increased, the differential cost is called incremental cost, and the level of activity is decreased, the decrease in cost is called decremental cost. Differential cost concept is used in planning and decision making. It helps in evaluating the profitability of alternative proposals. It assists in knowing the additional profit and additional cost of different proposals. What is sunk cost? It is the cost that has been either already incurred or is yet to be incurred. It is a cost created by a past decision and cannot be avoided or changed by any decision that is made in the future. It refers to cost which has no economic relevance to the present decision making process. Example, book values of existing fixed assets. Imputed cost are hypothetical or notional costs not involving cash outlay, computed only for the purpose of decision making. Imputed indicates an ascribed or estimated value when there is no criteria of absolute monetary value for such purpose. Examples of imputed costs are rental value of the property owned by the enterprise, interest on internally generated funds. What is out of pocket cost? It refers only to the cash costs associated with an activity. Non-cash costs such as depreciation are not included in out of pocket costs. With this, I conclude the second unit, Introduction of Costing System.